Alright, Mr. Claxton's Algebra 2CP class. We had a tough example on page 75. If you are confused by number 37, it's okay. It's alright. Today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to solve an equation, a literal equation for a variable, in this case f, by creating a common denominator. So we're solving for f. We are given this equation up here on the left. 1 over f is equal to 1 over f1 plus 1 over f2. In class today, I kind of showed you the really confusing solution. The confusing solution, which might make sense to some, might be to multiply by f on each side and then divide by the quantity. We're dividing by the quantity 1 over f sub 1 plus 1 over f sub 2 on each side. I divided by that quantity on each side. And that leaves me with a really, really confusing looking, although it is technically correct, it's not communicated well mathematically. And I always want you to be able to communicate to others well mathematically. So 1 divided by the quantity, 1 over f sub 1 plus 1 over f sub 2, that just doesn't make any sense. Future professors or teachers might look at you a little differently if you did communicate that to them and say, oh yeah, it makes sense to me. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to create a common denominator and solve from there. So let's go ahead and get started. In order to create a common denominator, what I need to do is I need to multiply each of these values, because you see that f sub 1 and f sub 2 are in fact different denominators. I need to multiply each of these fractions by a value that's equivalent to 1. That will give me a common denominator. And you probably know that you can just multiply these two values together. So f sub 1 times f sub 2 is going to be our desired common denominator. F sub 1 times f sub 2. So in order to get that desired common denominator, I would need to multiply this fraction by, think about it, f sub 2 over f sub 2. And I would need to multiply the fraction on the right by f sub 1 over f sub 1. I know you're thinking to yourself, this is why I don't like algebra. It's way too many variables. But there are times that call for us to solve for variables, especially in science class, which we all love. Well, that leaves me with f sub 2 in the numerator, because I take f sub 2 times 1, right? On the fraction, on the left fraction. In the right fraction, I have f sub 1 over f sub 1 times f sub 2. Alright, so now that I have this, I have a common denominator. Anytime I have a common denominator, what I'm allowed to do, mathematically, is I'm allowed to connect, make one solidus. Boy, that is the most crooked line, or solidus, or fraction bar you ever did see. Bring my operation up, and have one common denominator. That's what a common denominator is, right? And you're going to see that in the step below. I just kind of like to show people, hey, we're sharing this denominator. We're sharing. Sharing is very good. Sharing is awesome. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go back here until oops. Okay. And so we share the common denominator, f sub 1 times f sub 2. Yeah, in the numerator now, I have f sub 2 plus f sub 1. Alright, now why did I want to get this common denominator? And really, we're going to explore this more in chapter 8, believe it or not, when we get there. If you understand it now, wow, are you ahead of the game? So if you understand it now, excellent. But what we can use for now, that we do know, I know we're not to chapter 8 yet, is we can use cross multiplication. So in a sense, what you would be doing is multiplying f times this quantity in the numerator. I'll go ahead and that quantity of f sub 2 plus f sub 1. And I'm going to be multiplying 1 times this quantity in the denominator, f sub 1 times f sub 2. So what's that going to look like? All right. What we're going to go ahead and say is we're going to multiply f times this, wrong color, f times the quantity f sub 2 plus f sub 1. We're going to set that equal to 1 times the quantity. And remember, whenever I multiply by 1, I really don't have to put it in there. I am going to put it in for now. And that's f sub 1 times f sub 2. Alright, now to solve for f, I would divide, and this hopefully makes more sense to you than the method on the left. I would divide by the quantity f sub 2 plus f sub 1. I'm just dividing by the quantity, right, on each side. And I went way over the amount of time I wanted to take for this. And understand, I could rewrite that as f sub 1 plus f sub 2 by the commutative property of mathematics. I could do that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to dare to be different. So f now set equal to, are you ready for the final answer? I know you've all been waiting for it. Here it is. F sub 1 times f sub 2 over the quantity, or divided by, f sub 2 plus f sub 1. Wow. Okay. So that is exactly how you would complete that problem and communicate it well, and that is our final answer. Happy solving, everyone. Enjoy.